Trails Farm, and today we are going to be making a cold and flu tincture. Tincture is T-I-N-C-T-U-R-E, and I think I'm always saying it incorrectly. I don't think I am, but it's my accent. It makes it sound like an awkward sort of word. We're going to be using echinacea, elderberries, yarrow, and horehound today, and they're all dried. And we're going to need 80 to 100% proof vodka. What does proof mean? Proof means this is 80 proof, so 40% of this is actually alcohol and 40% is water. If you want a non-alcoholic alternative, you can use white vinegar or grapeseed oil. The difference is the alcohol will last for many, many years, 5 or more years. The water-based solution, vinegar or grapeseed oil, will only last for a year. Also, if you use an alcohol-based tincture, the alcohol is able to extract properties from the herbs that give medicinal benefit that the water-based products cannot extract. So this will actually help make your product a better and more beneficial herbal remedy. A tincture is an alcohol-based herbal infused medicinal concoction is what it is. We're going to need these little brown amber glass dropper bottles, and I bought these, I think it was $12 for $9.99 off of Amazon, and that's what we'll be putting our finished product in 4 to 6 weeks in. You're going to also need a canning jar, and I've put a label on here with, this is a cold and flu tincture, today's date, the date that I can start to strain it, which is a month from now, and then the herbs that I used. I already have some herbs in here because I caught myself halfway through and realized I hadn't turned on my camera. So you need 3 tablespoons of echinacea. Echinacea fights bacterial and viral infections, and it stimulates your immune system to work better. So I put those in my mortar and pestle, and I squished them up a little, and that's what I'm going to be doing now with my 2 tablespoons of elderberries. So let's get those ground up. So my 2 tablespoons of dried elderberries. All of my herbs that I am using, I grew myself, and they are dried. You can buy these from suppliers on Amazon or eBay or other online sources. And that's enough. I don't have to. I don't have to be like, you know, anything you're gonna put on your face or something here. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of yarrow. I will say that elderberries help stimulate your immune system. They fight illness. Yarrow is a fever breaker, and it's also an anti-inflammatory. So it's really good for swollen nasal passages. Sometimes it will induce you to sweat, which is good to purify your system and get that junk out of you, bacteria and virus. And the final thing I'm going to use is a tablespoon of horehound. If you don't have horehound, you can also use mullein. I can never say that one right either. M-U-L-L-E-I-N. Both of these are expectorants, good for sore throats. That's what this horehound is, just good for sore throats and expectorating mucus and stuff in your body. Alright, so I got it all in there. Give it a good shake here. Next thing I want to do is take a permanent marker, and I want to just mark where my herbs are. And then I want to measure up 2 inches, make another mark, and that's where I need to make sure my alcohol level is. So let's just pour the vodka right over the top. And it is normal for some of your herbs to float. They might float the whole time. Lid on there. Give that a good shake. It's in a sunny window. And then every 2, 3, 4 days I'm going to check it and make sure that my alcohol level is at my mark. And we're going to come back in 4 to 6 weeks to strain off the herbs and to put it in our bottles. It's been 4 to 6 weeks. I think it's closer to a little the 6-week mark. So we have our jar of the herbs that have been infusing in the vodka. And we have a clean jar that we're going to be using to strain off the herbs that are done doing their good stuff in there, infusing. And I just have a little strainer that I'm going to put in there. If you don't have a strainer, you can use a piece of muslin, a clean piece of muslin, a clean piece of t-shirt, something that you want it to be thin enough that the liquid will drain through it, but you want to keep your herbs from getting into that mixture. I've also prepared, before I get going here, you need some sort of adhesive labels that you can stick to the outside of your little dropper bottles, and I will put a link to the dropper bottles so you can find those on Amazon. And if I can, I'll find some of the components we used in the cold tincture. I made my labels. I've labeled it what it is. I've just labeled the abbreviation for the 4 things I used, and then another label that I'm going to put on the back is the dosage, and I will print that down in the description box as well. I'm going to take off my thing here. Got an iced teaspoon. I'm just going to go in here and squish all my herbs. So I want to get as much of that infused alcohol as possible. Your liquid and make sure there's just nothing that got through the sieve, and mine's nice and pure. Okay, I'm going to transfer my stuff into a pourable thing, and I can just pour it right in there. My cold tincture, and I'm going to put the labels on. And what I normally do is I put what it is on the front and the instructions on the back, and then I'm going to cover that with like clear packing tape, which I didn't bring in, so I'm sure you could figure that out. You could also just wrap Scotch tape around it. That just protects the ink from coming off of the bottle, of the label. The dosage on this is 2 droppers per hour as long as you have symptoms, and up to 12 dropper fulls per day. I will also list the teaspoon and the fourth, it's like 4th teaspoon, half teaspoon, that stuff. Either way, either dosage delivery that you choose, either teaspoons or the dropper fulls. Sometimes it's handy to have both. I hope this gives you some help. It's an alternative to that Green Goo. It gives you a real good immune system booster and helps you fight those symptoms instead of using an over-the-counter product. So this has been Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm. Thanks for joining us.